Stop for a moment. Try to focus on this sentence, just this one sentence. Hold it in your mind without your attention slipping away. Did you feel it? That pull, that urge to check your phone, to scroll, to escape into something easier. You think it's your fault. You think you're losing your edge, getting dumber, failing at the most basic human task of paying attention. But what if I told you that this struggle is not a personal failure, but a systematic attack on your ability to think? What if the fragmentation you feel, the mental fog, the inability to concentrate, is not happening to you by accident, but by design? Neil Postman, one of the most prophetic media critics of the 20th century, warned us decades ago. He saw what was coming, not Orwell's dystopia of visible oppression, boots stamping on human faces, thought police in the streets. No, he saw Huxley's nightmare, a world where people would come to love their oppression, to adore the technologies that undo their capacities to think. A world where the truth would be drowned in a sea of irrelevance, where people wouldn't need to be controlled because they would be too distracted to care. You are living in that world right now, and the evidence is inside your own skull. The anxiety you feel when your phone is in another room, the compulsion to fill every moment of silence with noise, the creeping realization that you can no longer read a book the way you once did. You are not broken, you are being conditioned, and by the end of this video, you will understand exactly how it works, why it is happening, and what you can do to fight back. But I warn you, most people will not make it to the end. The same mechanisms we are about to expose will pull them away. If you stay, you are already different. You used to be able to think. I don't mean the shallow processing you do now, skimming headlines, absorbing memes, reacting to notifications. I mean real thinking, sustained, deep, linear thought, the kind that requires you to hold a complex idea in your mind for more than 30 seconds, the kind that builds understanding layer by layer, that connects disparate concepts into coherent frameworks. You used to do this naturally, and now, if you are honest with yourself, it feels almost impossible. Think about the last time you tried to read something difficult, a philosophy book, a dense article, even a long email. What happened? You started strong, you were engaged, and then somewhere in the second or third paragraph, your mind began to wander. You felt restless, you checked how much was left, you started skimming. Maybe you gave up entirely and told yourself you would come back to it later. You never did. This is not laziness. This is not stupidity. This is the signature of a mind that has been rewired. You have been trained, gradually and invisibly, to prefer the quick hit over the slow burn, to seek stimulation instead of understanding, to mistake the feeling of consuming information for the reality of gaining knowledge. And the cruelest part is that you blame yourself. You think it is a character flaw, a lack of discipline, a personal failing. But here is what you need to understand. Your attention span did not collapse because you were weak. It collapsed because you have been subjected to the most sophisticated psychological conditioning system ever created. Every app on your phone, every platform you visit, every piece of media you consume has been engineered by teams of PhDs in behavioral psychology whose sole job is to fragment your attention and keep you scrolling. They are not trying to inform you. They are not trying to educate you. They are trying to addict you, and they are winning. You feel it in your body, the anxiety when you are bored, the compulsion to check your phone even when you know there is nothing there, the inability to sit with your own thoughts for more than a few minutes without reaching for a distraction. This is not normal. This is not how human minds are supposed to function, but it has become so pervasive, so normalized, that you think the problem is you. Look around. Everyone is staring at screens. Everyone is fragmented. Everyone is distracted. And because everyone is doing it, it feels like this must be fine. But Postman understood something that most people miss. Just because a behavior is widespread does not mean it is harmless. In fact, the most dangerous transformations are the ones that happen slowly, quietly, and with our full participation. We do not notice we are being changed because we are choosing the very things that change us. So, here's what we are going to do. We are going to dismantle this system. We are going to show you exactly how your mind is being restructured, why it is happening, and how you can reclaim what has been stolen. But before we go further, I need you to do something. Look at the way you are watching this video right now. Are you fully present, or is part of your mind already wondering what else you could be doing? That split attention, that fragmentation is the enemy we are about to face. Neil Postman spent his career studying the relationship between media and consciousness. His central insight was brutally simple and devastatingly true. The medium is not neutral. The form of communication does not just carry content, it shapes the very nature of what can be thought. A culture shaped by books thinks differently than a culture shaped by television, and a culture shaped by social media thinks differently still. Or rather, it stops thinking altogether. Here is the mechanism. In a print-based culture, knowledge is linear. You open a book, you start at the beginning, you follow an argument step by step. You hold ideas in your mind, compare them, evaluate them. The act of reading trains patience, builds concentration, and develops the capacity for abstract thought. Postman argued that the typographic mind, the mind shaped by the written word, is fundamentally different from the mind shaped by images and instant gratification. Television changed this, not because TV is inherently evil, but because it restructured what counted as information. On television, everything is entertainment. News becomes spectacle, politics becomes performance, education becomes infotainment. The medium demands brevity, emotion, and visual stimulation. It punishes complexity. It rewards simplicity. Nuance dies, depth disappears. What matters is not whether something is true, but whether it is engaging. And then came the internet, and then social media, and then the algorithm, and now we have reached the endgame. A communication environment so fragmented, so fast, so engineered for addiction that sustained thought has become nearly impossible. You do not consume content anymore. Content consumes you. You do not use platforms. Platforms use you. Your attention, your thoughts, your emotional energy are the product being harvested and sold. Let me be specific. Every time you open Instagram, you are training your brain to seek novelty over depth. Every time you scroll TikTok, you are conditioning yourself to expect stimulation every few seconds. Every time you refresh Twitter, you are reinforcing the neural pathways that associate boredom with anxiety. You are not choosing to do this consciously. You are being guided by invisible architects who understand your psychology better than you do. Postman warned that we would drown in information but starve for knowledge. Look at your life. How much information did you consume today? How many headlines did you skim? How many videos did you watch? And now ask yourself, what do you actually know? What deep understanding did you gain? What complex problem can you now solve that you could not solve before? The gap between consumption and comprehension has never been wider. But here's the part that most people miss. This is not just about wasted time. This is about the systematic destruction of your capacity to think critically. When your mind is fragmented, you cannot hold contradictions. You cannot evaluate evidence. You cannot distinguish propaganda from truth. You become reactive instead of reflective. You become a consumer of opinions instead of a creator of understanding. And in a world where power depends on controlling narratives, a population that cannot think deeply is a population that can be controlled effortlessly. Think about the last time you changed your mind about something important, not a trivial preference, a deeply held belief. When was it? For most people, the answer is years ago, and this is not because they have discovered the truth. It is because their minds have stopped processing information critically. They absorb narratives, they repeat talking points, they align with tribes, but they do not think. You feel this, do not you? You feel the gap between the person you are and the person you could be if your mind was allowed to function at full capacity. You sense that something essential has been taken from you, and you are right. Your cognitive sovereignty, your ability to direct your own attention, to think your own thoughts, to to form your own judgments is under siege. And the weapons are not obvious. They are apps, they are platforms, they are the very tools you use every single day. So here is my question to you, and I want you to answer this honestly, not just in your head, but in the comments below. When was the last time you read something longer than a few paragraphs without feeling the urge to skim or quit? When was the last time you sat in silence without reaching for your phone? If you cannot remember, or if the idea of doing so feels uncomfortable, that discomfort is the evidence. Write it in the comments, acknowledge it, because awareness is the first step to resistance. If you've made it this far, I need you to understand something. You are not like most people. Most people clicked away in the first minute. They felt the pull of something easier, something faster, something designed to give them a dopamine hit without requiring effort. But you are still here. You are enduring. You are paying attention in a world that profits from your distraction. That alone tells me something about you. You have not been fully domesticated yet. Let me tell you what is really happening inside your mind right now. You are experiencing cognitive dissonance. Part of you wants to dismiss what I am saying. Part of you wants to believe that you are in control, that your habits are choices, that you can stop anytime you want. But another part of you, the part that is honest, knows that I am describing your reality. You know that your attention has been hijacked. You know that your ability to think deeply has been compromised, and you know that it is getting worse. This discomfort you feel is not weakness, it is signal. It is your mind recognizing that it is being held in a cage it did not build. Most people never feel this friction because they have surrendered completely. They have accepted the fragmented, distracted, overstimulated existence as normal. They no longer remember what it feels like to think clearly. They have been conditioned so thoroughly that they do not even notice the chains. But you still feel them, and that is proof that the reconditioning is incomplete. Your mind is resisting. Every time you struggle to focus, every time you feel anxious about your inability to concentrate, every time you long for the mental clarity you once had, you are experiencing your own internal rebellion. Your psyche is fighting back against the forces trying to flatten it into a reaction machine. Postman would tell you that this resistance is precious. It means you have not yet been fully absorbed into the system. The question is, what will you do with this awareness? Will you let it fade back into the noise, or will you use it as fuel to reclaim what has been taken? Here is what most people do not realize. The vast majority of the population has already lost this fight. They scroll endlessly. They consume content they forget within minutes. They mistake being busy for being productive. They confuse information overload with being informed. They think they are making choices when they are simply following scripts written by algorithms. And they are happy, or at least they think they are happy, because they have been conditioned to equate constant stimulation with being alive. You are different. You are still capable of feeling the absence of depth. You are still hungry for meaning. That hunger is proof that you have not been fully flattened. And if you are willing to fight, if you are willing to do the work that most people will never do, you can rebuild what has been dismantled. But I'm going to be honest with you. It will not be easy. It will require you to go against every impulse that has been installed in you over the last decade. It will require discipline in a world that celebrates instant gratification. It will require solitude in a world that pathologizes being alone. But here is what you gain. You gain your mind back. You gain the ability to think clearly, to hold complex ideas, to see through the noise. You gain immunity to manipulation. You gain the capacity to form your own judgments instead of borrowing them from influencers and algorithms. You gain sovereignty, and in a world where most people are mental slaves, sovereignty is power. So thank you for staying. Thank you for having the patience that 90% of people have already lost. What comes next is the most important part. I'm going to show you exactly how to rebuild your cognitive architecture. I'm going to give you the tools to resist the reconditioning, And I'm going to warn you that most people, even if they hear this, will never apply it. But you are not most people. If you were, you would have left already. The fight for your mind begins with understanding the weapons being used against you, and the most powerful weapon is the medium itself. Postman's insight was that we focus on content, we argue about what is being said, but we ignore the structure that determines what can be said. We debate whether a tweet is true or false, but we don't question what happens to thought when it must fit into 280 characters. We worry about misinformation, but we ignore the deeper problem that the platforms themselves make sustained, rigorous thinking impossible. So here is the first principle of cognitive sovereignty: awareness of the medium. Every platform you use is training your brain. Netflix trains passive consumption. You sit, you watch, you absorb, no effort required. Instagram trains comparison and envy. Every image is curated, filtered, designed to make you feel inadequate. Twitter trains outrage and fragmentation. Every thread is a fight, every opinion is a grenade. TikTok trains addiction to novelty. Every 15 seconds a new stimulus. Your brain never rests, it never integrates, it just reacts. You cannot reclaim your mind if you do not understand what is shaping it. So start asking yourself, what cognitive habit is this medium creating in me? When you open YouTube, are you seeking knowledge or distraction? When you scroll Instagram, are you connecting or comparing? When you check the news, are you becoming informed or inflamed? The medium is not neutral, it is sculpting you. And unless you become conscious of this, you will continue to be shaped by forces you do not control. The second principle is this: reclaim linear thought. The antidote to fragmentation is linearity. You must rebuild the capacity to follow an idea from beginning to end without interruption. This means reading physical books, not skimming articles, not watching video summaries. Books, long-form, difficult, demanding books that require you to hold attention for hours. Your mind will resist. It has been trained to seek the shortcut, but every time you push through that resistance, you are rewiring your brain back toward depth. It also means engaging in conversations without your phone present. Real conversations, not exchanges of talking points, not performances for an audience. Conversations where you listen fully, think carefully, and respond thoughtfully. It means writing by hand. The act of writing by hand is slower, more deliberate. It forces your brain to process information instead of just recording it. It means solving problems without immediately consulting Google. Sit with uncertainty, struggle with complexity. Let your mind do the work it was designed to do. The third principle is to create friction. Modern technology has eliminated friction. Everything is instant, infinite scroll, autoplay, one-click purchase, seamless experience. But friction is what allows thought to occur. When there is no resistance, there is no engagement. So you must deliberately create obstacles. Delete apps from your phone. Use browser extensions that block infinite scroll. Set specific times for information consumption and stick to them. Embrace boredom. Boredom is not the enemy. Boredom is the space where creativity emerges, where your mind is allowed to wander and connect ideas that would never surface in a state of constant stimulation. The fourth principle is to reject the myth of multitasking. Neuroscience has proven what Postman intuited. There is no such thing as multitasking. There is only rapid task switching, and it degrades performance on every task. Your brain can only hold one complex thought at a time. When you try to do multiple things simultaneously, you are not being efficient. You are training yourself to be scattered. Protect singular focus as if your intelligence depends on it, because it does. The fifth principle is to distinguish information from knowledge. Postman warned that we are drowning in information while starving for knowledge. Information is data, raw, unprocessed, disconnected. Knowledge is integrated understanding. It is the ability to see patterns, to connect causes and effects, to form coherent models of reality. Wisdom is knowing what matters. Most of what you consume is informational noise. It creates the illusion of learning while preventing actual understanding. Stop consuming and start integrating. Read less, but think more. Take notes, reflect, question, build frameworks, turn information into knowledge, and knowledge into wisdom. These 5 principles are not suggestions, they are survival strategies. In a world designed to fragment your attention and colonize your thoughts, protecting your cognitive sovereignty is an act of war. You are not fighting with weapons, you are fighting with discipline, with intention, with the deliberate cultivation of a mind that refuses to be reduced to a reaction machine. Now we arrive at the final and most powerful insight, the one that changes everything. The technology that promised to make you smarter, more connected, more free, has done the exact opposite. It has made you distracted, isolated, and conditioned. And here is the cruelest truth of all. You participated willingly. You chose the dopamine. You chose the convenience. You chose the entertainment. No one forced you. You walked into the cage and locked it from the inside. But Postman's message was not nihilistic. It was a call to consciousness. The same systems that condition you can be resisted once you see them clearly. The mind is not a passive receiver of stimuli. It is an active interpreter. When you change what you consume, you change what you become. But here is the paradox that most people will never resolve. Reclaiming your cognitive sovereignty will make you feel more alone. You will notice how shallow most conversations have become. Scripted reactions to media narratives, recycled opinions, virtue signaling, tribal loyalty. You will struggle to connect with people who live entirely on the surface. You will feel the pull to return to the comfort of distraction, to the warm embrace of the algorithm that knows exactly what you want before you want it. And this is where most people break. They cannot tolerate the isolation that comes with clarity, so they go back, they scroll, they numb, they forget. But you, if you are still here, if you have followed this argument to its conclusion, you are capable of something most people are not. You are capable of enduring the discomfort of waking up in a world that is still asleep. You understand now that the fragmentation you feel is not personal failure, it is cultural warfare. Every moment you reclaim deep thought, every time you resist the pull of the feed, every instance you choose difficulty over ease, you are fighting back, not with anger, not with rejection of technology, but with consciousness, with deliberate intention, with the slow, patient rebuilding of a mind that refuses to be controlled. Postman's warning was not about technology itself, it was about our surrender to it. The medium has changed, the question is, will you? Most people will watch this video, feel a momentary spark of recognition, and then return to exactly what they were doing before. They will scroll, they will consume, they will forget, and in 6 months, they will wonder why they still cannot focus, why they still feel mentally foggy, why they still sense that something essential is missing. But you have a choice. You can be different. You can take this awareness and turn it into action. You can start today. Delete one app, read one chapter, sit in silence for 10 minutes. Small acts of resistance that compound over time. Or you can do what most people do. You can nod along, agree in theory, and change nothing. The system is counting on you to do nothing. It is designed to make resistance feel impossible. But impossibility is an illusion. It is just another form of conditioning. So here is my final question to you, and I want you to sit with this, not skim past it, not dismiss it, really consider it. What will you do now that you know? Now that you understand that your mind is being systematically reshaped by forces that profit from your distraction? Now that you see the cage clearly, will you stay inside because it is comfortable, or will you break out, even if it means standing alone? Write your answer in the comments, not a vague agreement, a concrete action. What is the one thing you will change today? Because awareness without action is just another form of entertainment, and you did not come this far to be entertained. You came here to wake up. So wake up. The war for your mind is not coming, it is already here, and you are either fighting or you have already lost. If this video gave you the clarity you have been searching for, subscribe, because the algorithm does not want you seeing this. It wants you distracted, fragmented, easy to manipulate. Every time you choose depth over dopamine, you are breaking the system. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and watch the next video, because what comes next goes even deeper into how modern society profits from your cognitive surrender. Most people will not take that step, but you are not most people. Not anymore.